I can't even believe I'm here talking about this shit.
Who's that shit? It's a car dealership.
All these years, I mean, this is kind of common knowledge now. You see the title of the video. Why are y'all still going out there and filling applications at the car dealership? And it was actually embarrassing for me is I had a client that reached out to me this week that wanted to get some funding, of course. And I'm looking at their credit report. They just recently got a new car and they have all this fucking ton of inquiries. And I'm like, why would you do this? You know, you have great credit. You could have just went to your local credit union, got one approval without having this effect on your credit report. And she mentioned, yeah, she got bamboozled and they said they're gonna find her the best rate or better terms. And man, let's just address all this shit. You know, and my car dealership friends, you're probably gonna get mad at me if you're out there, but a little bit of background about me. My first job in the finance industry, I used to be a loan originator. You know, I always tell people jokingly all the time, I guess you can blame me for what happened in '08 because I did a lot of subprime loans. But one of the things, if you're a mortgage broker back in the day, you know about what they call yield spread. We'll charge an origination fee, which is, you know, something that we disclosed in what they call the good faith estimate, the GFE. And we'll generally charge a client a 1% or 2% origination fee, but we'll get this kickback from the lender called a yield spread. And this kickback was paid based on the interest rate that we chose for the client. I want you to realize, when the client is approved for a loan and you get these things called wholesale rates, or they'll tell you, you know, if your client is Jeff is approved for a $150,000 loan and they're gonna give this thing, it's gonna start from like 3% interest rate is what you can offer them, all the way up to like 7%. And if you offer them 7%, you get paid a higher commission. So of course, you know, depending on if we like the client, you know, depending on if the client wanted to buy a rate down, because that's another thing that this offered the client is, you know, if they wanted a really low rate, they can actually pay in and get that type of rate. But it was ultimately up to us, the loan originator, to make that decision. But why am I bringing this up as pertains to you dumbasses going out there and still filling an application out of the car dealership and being sold and bamboozled?
We have been hoodwinked, bamboozled.
I love using that word. I'm gonna start using that damn word often. Bamboozled. It feels good saying that. Okay, I'm being stupid. Let's get back to the video. So yeah, I'm being bamboozled, okay? Yeah, I had to say it one more time. Anyway, these guys, and then they tell you, oh, we're gonna get you better terms, and this bullshit. I mean, just think about it. You're borrowing money to buy a car, there's interest rates and the fixed monthly payments. The only thing that affects your term is the interest rate and the term of the loan. That's it. Those are only two things. The interest rate they're gonna charge you and the term of the loan. The interest rate is based on your credit. The term is based on whatever you pick or whatever the bank offers as to, you know, the loan. There's 24, there's 36, there's like 42 months, and there's 60 months, and then they even got 72 months, and they even got like 80-month loans out there. You know, and generally the bank will go longer based on how new the car is. Basic knowledge. If you don't know that shit, there you go, free game. There is no shopping for a better rate or better. Why do you think they're sending your shit to like 30 different banks? They're trying to see who's gonna pay them the most commission. Let's just be real. Because interest rates are set. Like, you can look up, first page of Google, car loan rates. It will tell you based on the credit score what the rate it generally is. And another thing, and I know you've heard this before. I know you know. When you're shopping for a car, go to your local credit union. That probably should be the first stop. They get really good rates on your local credit union, and they're gonna give you an approval. And you're gonna walk in the car lot, and basically you're shopping with basically like cash. And you know this. I'm not telling you something you don't know. When you have cash, your buying power increases. You can negotiate better. You go in there, the confidence level is a little bit different as well. Because you got cash. It's basically, you got an approval from the bank already. You don't need, the bank just tells you to go look for a car, let us know what dealership, and we'll write the check. That's what they do when you go to a credit union. So it really boggles my mind why you would end up at the car lot, first off, without a pre-approval from a lender. And if you're trying to shop for a better rate, or there's this amazing thing that was invented a couple of years ago called the internet, and then there's this website. It's called Google. And literally, you can look up a few different banks in your local area, a few different credit unions. You can apply to like 2 or 3 and shop for your own goddamn best rate, and then go to choose whichever one you want, you know. And again, the only thing that affects your payment, because that's another thing, I'm so sick of y'all. Y'all so goddamn stupid. I'm sick of y'all being sold on these monthly payments. There's people out here being stuck. I got a friend of mine, they got like a truck. He pays over $1,000 for this damn truck. I think he pays like $1,200 or some shit like that. Cars are expensive these days, I get it. And you know, insurance, man, this shit is expensive. He's like $1,700 or something after it's all said and done. You know, it's a very expensive car, very nice car, you know, trucks. But y'all need to guys stop getting sold on this interest rate stuff. You know, it's this stuff is basic math. I think there's even a calculator I'm gonna offer. But again, first page of this miraculous, amazing site called Google, you can do a auto loan calculator. and figure this stuff out by yourself. No, you know how much you can afford. You know, I would say stop making financial decisions based on passion. Because you go to that car lot, make the logical decision for shopping for the car and shopping for the best rate when you're at home, before you get over to that goddamn car lot and you over here amazed by that leather seat or all this bullshit that the salesman is telling you. You know, it's one of those things that holds a lot of people back is these cars. They literally are, people are drowning in car payments. It's like now, you know, people are just used to making car payments. I mean, nobody even owns cars no more. You know what I'm saying? Nobody even sees title for cars. After they keep the car for 2-3 years, they take it back and then they get another car. And they just monthly payment. There's a car payment forever. And it's I don't know, maybe this is gonna reach out to somebody out there, but I'm just, especially as my client, stop doing that shit. Just really stop it.
Stop it. Get some help.
You know, when you need a car, if you're in need of a car, go to a local credit union, get your own approval, walk to the car lot with the financing already in place so you do not get bamboozled. I'll say it one more time. By these car dealerships, whenever, you know, because they take advantage of your emotions, your feelings. It's, you know, it's something new. A car is an amazing thing. You know, I love cars. I got a bunch of them. You got to be wise about it. You know, you really do. You know, and I'm speaking from experience. It's something that has happened to me before. But as it pertains to, you know, protecting your wealth, protecting your credit, there's better ways of going about it. And hopefully this video helps, or at least, you know, at least I give you some advice that you need to kind of take on when you're shopping for a car. It doesn't make sense for you to go to that car dealership. And I'm gonna repeat it again. They're not looking for your best interest. They're not shopping for better terms, as they say. They're literally shopping for which lender is gonna get you approved and pay him the highest commission. And some other lenders that are out there, you have to go to a dealer and get them to fill out the application. But the cool thing about it though is you can still do the estimates on most of these sites. Like Toyota Motor Credit, as I mentioned. And the only reason I went to the dealer and actually got this done, and the way I found out about this, is I wanted to go ahead and start building business credit. I did not want to purchase cars anymore under my personal name. And I went to the dealership. I told them, you know, what I wanted to do. I wanted to purchase this car. I was trying to start my tour business, and I wanted to purchase all my cars under my business name, and I had never done that before. So I went to the dealership. I had a very serious conversation with the finance guy, and I told him that I only want to go with Toyota Motor Credit. I knew that they had a product out there that could go ahead and get me approved for a car loan. It was going to be all under the business name. So that's the only exception that I'll put out there. You know, and if you seriously, because you know, if you notice, the way that this thing is generally set up, you have the salesperson, and then the salesperson usually collects the information from you, and then they take it to this finance person. And they make it where you can't even talk to that finance guy until towards the end, the salesperson has already messed up your credit, finance person will say, and then when you filling out the final documents, that's when you get to talk to the finance guy. But I promise you, you can't talk to the finance guy if you just ask. If you really stress the issue, that you need to make it clear that he can only, you know, submit this application with one specific lender, or he only has permission to submit one inquiry, you know. And again, the objective in mind that I had is I've never had purchased a car under my business name, and I just did a little bit of research, and I knew about Toyota Motor Credit offering business car loans under the business, and most banks did. But they offered this even for, you know, startup business. It was what I was considered at the time, and all I simply had to do was personally guarantee the purchase of the car. So anyway, that's the only exception that I'll put out there, is if you're trying to access some lenders that do not offer consumer services, that only deal with dealerships. That's one way, that the only way that you can go ahead and do that. But anyway, peace out.